Hmm. Let's see if this works. I don't have the login for this channel. Let's see if this works. I don't have the login for this channel. Didn't show up as a notification. Testing 1, 2, 3. Coffee, give me strength. Testing 1, 2, 3. Coffee, give me strength. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Just bear with me a second. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this for. My microphone settings are all changed. Check, check, check. Check me out. Check, check, check. What's going on with the sound? Okay, testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 25. Okay, testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 25. The only reason why I'm doing these sound checks is for some reason the microphone seems to be very crispy. Like the bass of my voice has kind of disappeared for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Let me just see what this sounds like, and then we'll get into it. We're going to do some painting, hopefully. Oh, fuck it, I'll just leave it like that. Okay, right, give me 2 seconds, everybody. I was going to do some sketching for a new back cover for the single issues, but I have decided against that because I want to do something a little bit cooler, even though the back cover is cool. I've just really been feeling the itch to do more painting. Annoyingly, you can hear an echo. Why is that? Oh, it's probably because the desktop audio was playing in the background. I also bought new headphones which do not keep the sound out, or they don't keep the sound in, so my headphones are right next to the microphone, and the sound is kind of like looping back, it seems. Right. Just make sure my desktop's all sorted out so there's no sensitive information. And then we'll kick it. Actually, considering we're doing painting, I might try and paint the back cover as well. Which will make sense in a second. Unlocks. Okay. Right. Discord open. In case Ronny decides to come in. I don't know what Ronny's doing. He might pop in the voice chat. Because we've been setting, well, helping get the groundwork down for the map Discord. Don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but something to get excited about in the future. Okay, the echoing seems to have stopped. So now I can listen to music and have fun. If anyone's after a new band to check out, search Valiant Hearts on the YouTube channel Dreambound. It's like a post-hardcore band, like a lot of singing, but it's like very passionate style singing, like kind of screams, but just some really awesome melodies and instrumentals. I can't stop playing it. Alright, so hopefully you won't be able to hear the music in my headphones. The reason I've got to keep no music on for you lot is to avoid any copyright claims for Ronny. Because even if you put on royalty-free music or copyright-free music, it still ends up getting flagged for some reason, which is not good. So, make sure everything's set. Alright, so we've got that one. Photoshop. So, Alt F2. Alt 2, should I say. Oh, it helps if I put my light on. Voila! Right, let me go tell some people that we're live. I should have done that before. Live. Doomsday. Who else? Kingdom. Spin. I don't know if she will get. I don't know who gets notifications. I don't know how many people actually sub to this channel. It doesn't show for me for some reason, unless I'm just blind. But whoever's in the chat, leave a hello message or something, and I'll give you a little shout out. Live now. Yeah, we'll probably do like a 2-hour stream. We always say that, but it could be longer. And to those who don't know or don't really care, I moved house finally, so this is the new semi-temporary background for now, because I have no idea what I want to do. I want to make a section of the living room more for drawing and have like more props and stuff like that. But we'll wing it for now. Right now it's just got a literally the only chair behind me is like a leather chair. I don't have a sofa or a couch or anything because I'm broke. Okay, so we're going to do something cool. So the back cover for issue 6 onward, actually no, issue 5, because we're coming to the end of the first story arc, people might think they've got an idea of what the story is going to be, but we have a bigger story to tell, hence this promo. So this is a little sneak peek into the future of Doomsday Kingdom, because if no one paid attention to issue 2, it was revealed how far into the future the current time of Doomsday Kingdom is compared to our own. So obviously we're in 2020, and I've forgotten, but in the comic it is 2030, 36. I don't know. 2074. I'm just pulling numbers out of thin air now. Let me see if I can find the date. Because then obviously the future with the whole Rider saga and the Feeding Post saga, that's obviously even more in the future to what it is now in the current comic timeline, which is already still in the semi-future. So if you have issue 2, you can look at it. It's when Tristan looks at his phone and he's getting all these news articles coming to his phone. And it has the date. Originally it was quite small, so I made it bigger. But the downside was obviously because the pages get shrunk when it comes to the final comic. You couldn't read it, so I tried making it as big as I could, but without it being too obvious. So okay, so the year is it's 2028. So 2028. So it's 8 years in the future, which is pretty cool. And then I don't know the exact number for the Feeding Post timeline, but I think it's like 20 years? Not sure. I have no idea. But it's a cool little tidbit, I thought. So that's that. So basically it's a newspaper on a bloody desk or table. We haven't decided on the name of the paper. Ronny had some ideas, but he's not told me yet. But it's kind of like based off the old-timey newspapers like that you've seen, like westerns. But yeah, so it was like the Doomsday Butcher. Brutal attack at the trading post. Well, at a trading post. No survivors. And then this will be a still frame from a security camera of just like a load of dead bodies. And then suspect pictures below, which will be like a police sketch, but in the style of like those old wanted posters. Because obviously there's still like this, I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, but there's still technology around in the future of the comic. But it's not like perfect. Nothing is like, as far as I know, too fancy. So while they're still able to like print or do hand printed newspapers, there's still cameras, but again, I'm not going to get into that too much. There is some tech infrastructure, but obviously it's on its last legs, so stuff is quite scarce and more valuable. But for news, there's still like a semi news front going on in the Feeding Post timeline. But yeah, I think this will be a little cool background, especially when I finish it, which I was going to do the sketches there, but instead we're going to try some painting, because I haven't done a painting in so long. Because we've also decided to do a signature series of Volume 1. I don't know how that's going to work, because I think it might just be a smaller run, because 150, having those on hand is quite expensive, because it's like, like $15 to make or whatever. And then we've got to make profit on selling them. So there might be like a limited run of like 25 signature series. So my original idea was to do another rider portrait to go with the single issue ones, but now I want to do something with the Feeding Post instead. So this is my first thing. So with the Feeding Post, you have to have a sunset. So this time I'm doing like a blood orange red base background, but this is going to be a close-up, because I wanted to practice doing painting with like more detail, So this is going to be like quite a close-up image of the feeding post, but it's also going to have like cool details, because it's something I was thinking about today was how many people get killed on the feeding post. Obviously, if this was real life, you'd expect the feeding post to be rotted over time. So whether that means that there's maintenance need to be done on the feeding post, I thought it'd be cool like if we do a close-up and we see like some of the like the wood layers like peeling off, and then you'll see like maggots and like worms and like flies and all this kind of shit, and then obviously painted to be like semi-photo realistic would be pretty sweet. And then there's going to be something inside there stuck in the feeding post, which is also another tidbit for the future, which is also going to be shown on the new back covers, because we've shown the rider's first main weapon, which is the corkscrew ice pick that the rider's made, but his main primary signature weapon is a bone tomahawk, and this ties into Ronny's ancestry, because he's part like Native American or whatever, or has like, I don't know what percentage he said he was, but his grandparents have this framed bone tomahawk, which he's always seen as a kid, so he wanted to use that as a cool weapon for the rider, because it's something that he's grown up with. And I have only drawn it once, because I did a commission for like a wraparound cover on the blank Doomsday cover comics, and I gave the rider, or I gave Ronny, because I put Ronny in it in rider outfit. He had the bone tomahawk as a weapon, which hopefully I'll be able to show you. If you give me a second. Hi, Spin. Now, we're not having a special. We just really need to promote the digital issues to help fund some more of the comic. Alright, might as well just show the picture. So this is what Ronny's always seen as like a kid, which is in his grandparents' house. So this is going to be the main signature weapon. Pretty sweet. So what I'm basically doing, do you know like a wood cutter would like lodge his axe into wood? I'm going to have a picture of this inside it. Oh god, I've got so much indigestion. I had a curry before this. I should never do a curry before planning to stream. But yeah, this is going to be like a super close-up shot, so let me just remember what the feeding post looks like. I'm not showing the angle yet. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to show some verticality and depth to it. And I don't necessarily want to show the handcuffs. So I might just lightly indicate it. And then what I want to do is look at some reference pictures of like rotted wood. So basically, obviously when I normally do like the feeding post, when I do tree bark, if I'm doing like a comic style, like I'll do these like little shapes, because it's like the wood grain effect. But I thought to make it more 3D, like some of the wood layers are like peeling off. So as if you imagine like a beehive, and you knock it open and you crack it open and you see like all the bees inside. Well, this is like, I'm doing like a rotted version of the feeding post, which was something I've not done before. Even though it's a weird idea, but it's only because my original idea for one of the signature series was I did it on issue 5, signature series. I did the zombie rider. So obviously we've got that for issue 5. So for this volume, I'm going to do a rotted, zombified feeding post, if that makes sense. But it's just a real feeding post, like rotted. so it's like super weak. So this could be like any time. Like this could be like after the comic ends. Again, like this is not spoiler stuff or story related stuff, because the whole point of Signature Series images most of the time is that I can play around in there, try some stuff out. So we'll just do that. And obviously the sun is basically going to be like down here. So this feeding process is backlit, so like we'll have a shadow here. And then I didn't want to do like a straight shot with the tomahawk like stuck in it. So I kind of want to do like a 3D version, so it's just hinted. But obviously you're watching the stream, so obviously you know what it is I'm drawing. And then if I get... I've closed the picture now for some stupid reason. Give me a second. Bone tomahawk. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And now I just need to figure out the size in relation to the thingy. I was kind of playing with the idea of like maybe having like a severed hand hanging off it, or have like a zombie head and then the tomahawk is inside the zombie head, like it's just been like killed or left behind or whatever. But paintings are going to take ages, even though I'm doing something simple like a tree. I want to kind of keep it quick. Loose. And then I have to remember that the this is the metal part. This is the clamp where the handcuffs get tied to. I have to lower it down. And now just trying to figure out the composition, because what I'm thinking now, it looks kind of like a dick. Composition wise, like the shapes. I realize my camera's in the way in it. I don't know if I'm going to keep that creeps border at the bottom, but I like the little layer effect that it does. I don't know why it won't let me move it around. My head's getting in the way. I'll do. Right. How big is it gonna be is the question. Another dick joke. How big is yours? Because that's the thing, I don't want to like... This is the good thing about doing sketches, is you don't want to spend too much time and then rendering out the entire thing and realize you spent 3 hours and you've just wasted time. I don't know if I like where this is going at the minute. Yeah. I've done it as 2 sizes, so basically it will either be used for a trading card or it will be the signature image. And now I just got to figure out what peeled bark looks like when it comes to painting it. But there'll be like flies and all that kind of good stuff, and then like worms or slugs. I just want to get like nasty with like bugs and stuff, because I don't normally draw that. Only when I'm doing the comic with zombies do I do like little fly shapes, which is basically that, but like tiny, like just the standard. Because obviously that's all you need to do for a fly, is do these little dot things. Especially when you're in a comic panel and it's like shrunken down, like super small. That blocking in some colour in a second. How you been, Spin? Alright, so it helps if I get the tomahawk shape right. I'm just drawing through. Obviously, this part will get erased later. Great, but busy. Yeah, same. How's the new digs? Yeah, it's good. I just need to get stuff. Okay, so the perspective is like that. The horizon point, the eye level is there, which means the handle curves this way. Yeah, I really love this. I like the house. Like, it's just every room is like empty. The bedroom is pretty much the same size as the entire ground floor of my house, and so all I've got in there is a bed, and it just looks so empty. And the funny thing is, I've made the bed frame, but I need to get a new mattress. So at the minute, I'm sleeping on the floor, and I've been here for like a month now, and I'm still sleeping on the floor. Okay. Realize you can't see what I'm doing here. Let me just draw the shape of the bone tomahawk. The this bone tomahawk is going to be seen on that back cover. If that gives you a spoiler to the characters that's going to be on the back cover. So we've got teeth. I don't know. Actually, no, I did do the pattern on it. So it's like this pattern was painted onto the bone, and then it's got the classic wrapped paper wrapping or whatever. But yeah, this thing's pretty deadly because it's got like a sharp side, but then it's got the teeth as well. So that's going to be cool seeing that in action. So we've got the size there. It's actually quite big, you know. That's the handle. I have to draw teeth, so it's like kind of rounded. I don't know how wide it is because it's only a flat photograph. But we'll say that's the middle of it. That's gonna be cool. We'll do like rendered teeth, which will be sweet. They've been sharpened down as well, so like they're quite pointy. I always do these sounds. I know this is quite messy at the minute, but we'll lower the levels, the layer down, and then we'll start doing the block colors. This is basically a study of like real life wood when the painting's complete, but in the theme of the comic. So I get to learn and earn at the same time. So we'll look at some like Google photos in a second of like rotted wood. go. So this is like the bandages or leather strips or whatever you want to call it. And then I want it blowing in the wind. It's like I always do the rider's bandana, like blowing with the wind, which I love doing. So the same thing's going to be done here. There's just not enough room for it. They might actually overlap. This actually, or done it so it's like coming towards you. It's just I don't like it being so close to the frame where it gets cut off when it gets printed. I was trying to do it so it's like kind of coming towards you, but I'm not that good. Because it'll have to be a lot bigger. And I'm not sure if I can get away with that. Because it'll like end up covering like so much. And it would have to be like super long in real life. Yeah. Uh, I just wanted some like motion, and obviously I'll do some leaves as well. Actually, that's becoming a staple. Anything that will show motion, because obviously we're drawing like a static object. We'll do some like leaves. I want 2 pieces. It always reminds me of like Ninja Turtles. Because of the bandanas. And then like twisting fabric is something I've never really done well. So again, this is like me just practicing. Because it can mess with your head. Like, obviously everyone knows what a ribbon in motion looks like, but having to draw it is a totally different thing. Okay, just make this a bit more obvious. Obviously these lines are not going to be in the final thing, this is just the base sketch. So then I'm going to be launching my Patreon on the weekend because I really want to do more painting and see if I can make money doing that. Because I want to do like highly detailed paintings of like stuff that I love. So I want to do like a Bob's Burgers like realistic painting for like the whole family in like my style, but obviously looking kind of like real. And then like Lord of the Rings, I really want to do some Lord of the Rings painting, and then I'll turn those into prints and then one of the tiers could be like giveaways for prints and all that kind of stuff, and then polls and stuff. I just don't know what people want out of a artist Patreon. Okay, so I'll do for the shape. Because a while ago, a guy called Mark, who was like a big fan of the comic, he emailed me like this really long, basically request, like he really wanted to like support me on Patreon, but I just didn't have time or the ability to like focus on it. But now that I'm trying to do this a lot more, obviously having extra money every month is going to help work less or whatever. This is the fun of drawing realistically, taking a flat image from the photograph and then turning it in space and making it look realistic from a different angle without having the photo reference. So I'm just doing a little the pattern outline, and obviously remembering it's a 3D shape, so it's like this basically. Like if it was a straight and not curved, like if we're doing like a knife, like a very thick blade. That's what I'm kind of doing here, and then you've got the teeth in 3D as well, which will be cool. Because what I might actually do is, since this is being used primarily to kill zombies with, like we can get really nasty with doing like a realistic painting, and we'll have like bits of flesh, maybe like a bit of scalp with some like hair off it, because that'll be cool for like fine details. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So now the hardest thing is recreating patterns. So it has like triangle shape here. This is where it gets difficult because it's trying to then do a flat pattern and make it 3D and also look cool. But you're also drawing it by hand, so it's never going to be exact, but it'll be enough. And then obviously I'm not going to do the exact amount of zigzagged or triangle shapes, because that's just extra time you can use to paint. Because paintings take a long time. Like I started one that I won't be showing people. It was the original idea that I had for Ronny. For the signature series of the volume, because what we were going to do is do a new portrait of the rider, but do a masked and unmasked version, so that when we do the reveal, because people think they know, we can do like another sig series for a different issue, obviously after the identity has been revealed, and then we could do like the unmasked version, because I started doing the unmasked version first because I just wanted to play with the appearance of the person and that. That'll be enough triangles. These are quite bigger compared to the photo, but fuck it. And then I'm going to add a new one. It's quite fitting that this is triangle shaped, because the Make a Path Presents logo is triangles. That's pretty cool. You got a new idea for commission. Very nice. I need to get that winner's sketch cover done as well. Just don't have fucking time. Alright, okay, so that's the base idea. And then obviously there'll be like some clouds and all that kind of stuff. It's a simple concept in terms of like a picture. the feeding post with a tomahawk in it. But because it's a close up, we can like get nasty and like do a load of maggots, and you'd like render the maggots out with like shiny lights. Most of this is going to be like blacked out because obviously the light is hitting from behind because of the sunset. So like half of it is going to be in shadow, but it's going to be in painted shadow. It's not going to be like jet black like I'm doing like inking or whatever. It's not going to be like that. So next thing to do is quickly get some references of rotted wood. Give me a sec. And we'll look at it together. Hopefully it's nothing sensitive. We'll say, and this is fucking Secure Avast web browser, so its default is not Google. So you have to search Google in a search bar to get it. So rotted tree. See how fucked up this is gonna look. Yeah. For some reason I was expecting like flesh. It's just obviously a dirty, like a holy tree bark. I want to see like insects and stuff like that. Because then the question would be, if the feeding post is like rotted, would it be hard to believe that whoever's tied to it could just like pull it out? But obviously the point of this illustration is not to show that or make you think that. It's just, this is a potential image when the storyline is completely finished, and like this is like the final thing where it's just like stomped in and then walked away for good, and then just let the wood rot until it eventually becomes nothing, which will obviously take years before it would disintegrate. But I just like that idea. And I'm also going to do some like overgrown moss and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I thought this was going to be a lot more dirty looking, so the whole idea of like the zombie tree, like we can play with that idea and make it slimy and wet looking, just like proper gross. So we'll make a reference folder. I was like, imagining like tree sap and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, the minute was search rotted wood, rotted tree trunk. Because the reason I was just thinking, because zombies or people end up being zombies there, that scientifically, could we have like bacteria and stuff forming on the post? Again, this is not story specific, it's just me having a play around. Rotten wood post. Yeah, so these are just like, this is what I thought it would look like, where it's just like holy. We might just have to like search rotted apple. Let's see if there's any maggoty type shots. So this is the kind of thing, like texture idea, that's like fungus or something. Rotten apple maggots. I hope you're not eating anything. But it's this idea I want to play with, like showing the maggots. They look like a Coca-Cola sweets, gummy sweets. Yeah, so it'd be like worms and stuff like that. fun time. I don't do this when I'm looking at or when I'm drawing dead people, because I would be scarred for life if I went on Google and looked for fucking reference pictures of dead people. I'd probably get some visit from authorities or something. So whenever we do the violence and the gore in the comic, I have to imagine what it would look like. And even that sometimes makes me feel ill. Rotted wood. But we could probably draw a cockroach as well. I mean, we're just gonna get nasty with it. Just like draw a load of shit since it's a close-up photo. And like woodworm in it. Very nice. I just want one more tree picture. Rotted wood. Rotted tree. Trunk. Do the moss on it as well. So we'll look at rusted metal, clamp. But to show, I mean, obviously rust is like an orange color, but since the wood is going to be orange and the background's orange, I'm still going to do like a bit of silver. And I might have to change the color of the sky to be my signature purple hue. Not sure yet. Oh man, I can't wait for everyone to see the final page of issue 5. Like if issue 5 was the end of Doomsday Kingdom series 1, like after like a 12 episode run, everyone would be fucking losing their mind. When Ronny was telling me about it, I was getting so excited. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm trying to get a lot more stylized with coloring. I don't want to like stick to just like ultra realistic lighting. Let me just turn this border off. Oh god. Just so you can see a little bit more. Ugh. I've lost the chat window. There we go. I want to see it now. Tough. Right. Wood. Let me see. Actually, I keep forgetting I did do a painting before, because I did it on the iPad when I first got it. Feeding post. So this would actually be the 3rd painting I've done ever. Because I've got a secret one that I just mentioned. Actually, no, this would make number 4, this one that I'm doing now. Where is it? Damn it. Do I not have it saved? To show it on my Instagram. You've seen it before. Where are you? Can't really see it, it's a bit low res. But yeah, so this was like the second ever painting I did for like the animated version. I liked how that turned out. Obviously my face is in a bloody way, but oh my eyes, I'm getting sleepy already. We're probably going to stream properly tomorrow. This was just a test to see if everything was still working, to be honest. I am dying. It's very intensive when you're thinking about stuff to draw. Okay, so let's do some blocks. I wish you could use the outside area of Photoshop and have images there, so you're not interrupting your actual canvas. So it's kind of like a stripped down version. Like this was the outer layer of the post, and it's all been stripped and it's like clean. But I'm probably gonna do it like this, like really gnarly, and only a little bit is like exposed, but all grimy, because then that's where we'll put in like the maggots and stuff. Yeah. Okay. This is the border. Don't know where Ronny is. It's not showing him online. We've started the process to have a map Discord. So if you have a microphone, do you know when you did your video spin? Did you just record it on your phone, or did you have a microphone plugged in to your computer? Because basically we'll basically have like chat rooms. So like when we do like games or comic talk or have guests on or whatever, we can do it all in our voice chat program, which we just set up. I was hoping Ronnie was going to come in, but I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, okay, so you can use it on your phone as well. It uses like your phone microphone, which is cool. So obviously if you're not at your computer, you can still talk to people, talk to us using your phone. Right, let's choose a wood color. That's weird. Why is it doing? Bit laggy. Determine the light. And then this is where it gets fun, because we'll eventually turn off the line art. Start making it like a painting. Just got a new webcam. Oh, nice. I'm not sure if I want to paint like I normally do the comic. Obviously, this is going to be very loose for now. But the cool thing with like brushes like this is that you can get a lot of texture just from lightly pressing. So it does quite a lot of the work for you when you get brushes like this. And then obviously we'll go tighter and tighter and tighter. Because we're going to get so bobbly with the wood. The thing with digital painting is it's basically you're just going over and over and over and over, pulling darks, pulling lights, until you decide to stop. Obviously, right now it looks like nothing, but you can see the texture starts to take place, and it's just a case of repeating this for hours on end until you've got something that looks somewhat respectable. So what I'm doing is just lightly indicating the bobbly bits of the tree, like very loosely, obviously. And then obviously when we start doing minute details, like if I pull up the rider portrait, to be honest, that'll make it a bit clearer. I don't even know if I've still got the original painting PSD. Because like it's sometimes disheartening for people when they're learning to paint, even myself. Like obviously one, you got to make sure you've got the time to do it, but when you're just looking at like this stage, like it looks like a child's painted it, but with perseverance you will make something that's as tight as this kind of thing. Like I got so much detail in this. Like I was on this for ages, and all it really started off was basically how this is, but it's just a case of laying down your shadows and then getting tighter and tighter, doing the details, with like thinner, smaller brushes, and then to make it contrasty. Obviously, like I really love the mouth section because it's like all the chain. Like there's even like blood in between it, but like it started off basically just as like a black shape, and then I used a lighter brush where obviously you're basically painting light, and then doing the fine details to show that fine detail of the grill, like the mesh grill. Like it's so cool, and then especially with the mask as well. Like it started off as like one shape, and then I had like this specular brush and did these like scratches to like show it's been aged and like battle hardened and stuff like that. And it's basically that's just a case of doing it how I would normally do when I'm inking. If we just get a brush, and I'll show you what I mean. Where is it? Ink brush. So it's basically doing a line like that. What was the color of the mask? It's like this kind of color. Like say that's a scratch in the wood. Then it's just a case of like choosing a balancing color, and then I'm using like a finer detailed brush. Like if you're doing like let's say a scarf for a person actually, it's one color, another color, then I'm adding like a deeper color to like show like the shadow. Even if something as minute as a scar, like you still want to show shadow detail and stuff like that. And then like this light here is like the highlight of the fire. And obviously when you zoom out, like it looks so detailed, but you've barely done anything. Like, and then it's just the case of obviously repeating it all over. And then the cool challenge was like, because it's a leather mask, was to do the detailing, but this was literally from a brush that did these little dots. So all I had to do was like move the brush like that. And you can see like it's making these like dot effects. And then so they're just doing it minute, like little dots like that to add extra realism. It's the same for like doing hair and stuff like that. Like if we say like the rider's hair, it starts off with these big shapes like blocks, and it helps if you've got like texture brushes, and then it's just a case of like darkening. And this is like super fast, but it still looks like you're adding details and stuff like that. Different shades of brown. And then obviously if it was like lit by a red light, then there would be some highlights kind of thing. And then there'd be highlights on top of the highlights. And then if we say like little strands of hair flickering out, this is how I did the hair for the rider. Big blocky shapes and then these thin strands on top. And it makes it look more realistic than it is, even though this was basically like a big thick brush waving around like hair. And then on top of it, a finer brush. To make like the hair strands and stuff like that. And then depending on how fast you move this brush, for this brush specifically, puts more and more detail in it. And then obviously, if you're doing something that's got extreme highlights, then you want to do a shadow underneath it as well. so that it's layering over the hair. So you got like these hair strands. It's very simple stuff. It's just a case of you have to stick with it before you get something that's recognizable. Like this looks like a complete mess at the minute, but eventually it'll look like that, but painted. Don't know if that tangent was worth listening to, but there we go. Oh. As always, I strive for perfection. I try. It's called your spin on this one. No longer spin. Have you changed your name? On YouTube. Okay. Thank you, Spin. Because again, like this looks like fuck all, but eventually it will look like something. Where's my brush? Just playing with brushes just to see what I like. The thing with Photoshop, there's so many different brushes you can use. Pencils. And obviously, because the sky is like a purpley blue, this shadow is going to take on some of that color. We're just adding in some very rough color. Oh, I think the cat is throwing up. Still spin 2020. Oh, right. Hold on. Toothy's being sick. Toothy. I thought he was throwing up, but he's not. Where's the wee going? There was a weird sound on the from the heater. What is it, Toopy? Big boy. Yeah, good boy. Toby. The camera. Hello. You okay? Yeah, good boy. Hairy man. Hal is in the tree behind me. We'll see you, lady. We'll see you. Boy, you have to look at the camera. You funny boy. People don't like kisses. Hallie loves it. Okay. This is what my living room looks like at the minute. Got a fireplace, load of cables. One bookshelf, one tree. God. No sofa, just this leather chair. Wrong one. My birthday is August 13th. I'm going to be 32 years old. "32 years old. I feel like I'm 50. Okay, bone tomahawk color. Don't know if you can see that on screen, but I'm just making a selection to get a base color for the tomahawk. Did you get Chet a Valentine? Maybe. I haven't set a date with this girl yet, but I don't want to do it on Valentine's Day. Yeah, we'll do a Valentine's Day stream. I hate love. I have to keep looking to see if my face is blocking the bloody picture. Yeah, like that's. I'm not. I've already lived a life, and tried starting a family and all that shit. So I'm not bothered about doing it anymore. Like I feel like I've already experienced a lot already. Like I know what it's like to be engaged. I know what it's like to be a dad. Uh, I know what it's like to be in a long-term relationship and all that shit. I know what it's like to have someone you love suffer through no fault of their own. So now I'm just happy being on my own. Okay, so that'll make it a bit obvious what we're doing. There's two things there. I don't know what Ronny's doing. He's not even replied to my message. He must be asleep. Right. Brown color. These are all basic colors, and then we'll add some like light and effect colors so it blends in with the background. Yeah, it was intense. I would have had a 6-year-old son by now. Well, 5-year-old. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl though. It's just an assumption that it would be a boy. Yeah, April 28th, 2014 or 13, I can't remember which. It needs to be a more reddish brown. Yeah, that's it. Nice red, nice brown. Going outside the lines now. Hold on to your butts. Sometimes it's easier when you do like block shapes in color instead of just relying on like a sketchy line. Oof. I'm going to paint over all this because it's going to have shading. I just wanted to start something with more color choices, or color variants, so we can have a play about with painting now. Because that tree, the feeder post is going to take so long to render out. So no. The child was never born. I know that makes it sound a lot more worse. Oh, wait, have I done the wrong bit of detail? Oh no. It was a bit confusing there because all the triangles are facing inwards, but then these ones here face outwards. I thought I was colouring the wrong section. That's alright, man. I'm the one who brought it up. Fill. Boom. And is there a triangle on there? No. Okay, so there's one triangle, and it's white. So that's the teeth. And then we want the bandage colour. A little darker. Pretty much all this is all neutral wood color. And if that's too brown though. Go, go, go. No, I'm listening to an advert. I thought I was listening to music. Oh. Oh. Oh shit, a tornado's hitting there, Ronny. Oh, damn. Fucking hell. Power's out and the reception is shit apparently. I don't know what it'd be like if we had a tornado in England. Everyone would be shitting themselves. No one's prepared. Just needs to be a little bit darker than the bone color. Yeah. Music. I need music. It's already 11:30 at night. God damn. Pencil. That was a quicker way of doing it. Just selecting that. You guys just got... Well, yeah. Like in Manchester, it rains a lot. But even that, like, is nothing really. Just get used to it. I guess you... Well, I don't know if you can get used to tornadoes hitting all the time. Part and parcel of the place you're in it? Okay. This part of the tree is where it's been like hammered in. Take care of your mum. That's just a procedure. Oh yeah, no worries, Ben. I'm gonna be ending pretty soon. So I'm gonna stream pretty much on my channel. We'll stream all the weekend as well. And probably tomorrow. Shadow layer. Why is it not going over the top of it? Ah, shit. There we go. Right. So now I need to see what it's like when it's lit. So just like blocking in the shadows, and then we're gonna get like super detailed. Because then obviously we'll start like wrapping around the individual pieces of tape. And even like I said, this is a simple image overall, but when it's done, it's gonna be so detailed. make sure I'm on the right layer. And like doing blocky shapes like this just gives you an idea of like where you want your shadows to be. And if this is wrapping around, then pretty much all of this is going to be in shadow. Obviously we'll do these darker lines because eventually we'll get rid of the pencil line. Yeah. A lot of people been having a lot of things operations in your family. First your horse, I said horse for some reason. Your dog, and now your mum. Is she alright now though? This is where you basically just like, I'm tapping because I'm wrapping around obviously the shape of the painting, like the basic shape. God, there's gonna be so much detail when I'm fucking done. But you get the gist. Like, obviously, if we're doing a dark line, then if there's some light, then you'd want to draw that over the dark line, and then when you zoom out, it'll start looking a bit more realistic. And then you can do like a load of dirt texture and dried blood and all that kind of cool stuff. Get more and more detailed as you go, especially with like some splatter textures and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks for asking. Well, thank you. I try my best. I've learned things being with women and working with all women. This music not auto playing, I don't get it. I thought more people would watch tonight, but it's only been like 3. Oh, look. Town is in black. I don't know if that's a saying. I don't even see that. Ronny's just sent me that picture. It's actually looking quite nice. It's like quite blue. Like it's like what I'm doing here, but with like the purple colors and shit. 4 likes. Huh. Interesting. I don't know if Ronny knows I'm live. Because I was asking him to put the link for the digital comics, but he's obviously dealing with something right now. Alright, I'm going to end it there, to be honest. Because otherwise, I'll have no sleep. I've been literally watching painting tutorials as well, so I've been like learning some stuff off of that. Yeah, this is going to get so fucking crispy by the time it's done. Hopefully it will get to like this level, or even more detailed. Alright, Spin, love you too. Have a good one, everybody else. and we'll if you he hasn't put my channel, but if you go to Observant Gym, that's my personal channel for art. We'll stream more stuff tomorrow and over the weekend as well. Oh man, I love doing that painting of the scars. So cool. Again, it just takes ages. It took like 10 hours to do, which is a long time. And it's not even like that good compared to like other people I've seen, but for me it's pretty good. Goddamn sweet. There's too much detail. I think. Anyway, peace out. A-Town down. Not changing. There we go.